What's up guys, Redneck Operator here. Today I'm going to show you how to mount an M203 grenade launcher onto your Mod 1 Mark 18 rifle. Today we're going to be working on my KWA ERG Mark 18. Now there's several ways that you can mount an M203 on a Mod 1 Mark 18. First of all, you could just use the standard wrist mount that comes with most 203s when you purchase them, which just mounts directly on the bottom of the rail without any kind of modifications or anything. The main thing I don't like about that is how low it hangs on the rail, so that's why I didn't want to go that route. Another route you can do is remove the bottom rail, use the standard barrel mount, and put a barrel extension on your Mark 18 so that your front barrel clasp can still hook around that barrel. I didn't like that because I didn't want an extended barrel. I built in Mark 18 because I wanted that 10-3 barrel. Just for CQB and stuff like that. So I didn't want to go that route. Another route I've seen guys do is to just keep that shorter barrel and then put a zip tie around the front. But again, that was just kind of not my favorite way of doing things. I wanted something that looked a little cleaner and nicer. So today I'm going to show you what I came up with. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the bottom rail of your Mark 18 rail. To do this, you're going to want to remove the Allen keys here and here, and then loosen the screw at the very front of the rail here. After you've removed the bolts and loosened the screws on both sides of the rail should drop straight down and come right off, as you can see here. I'd recommend putting the bolts back into the rail and then just tightening the screws down on the rail on the rifle, as you can see I've done here, just so you don't lose anything. The next thing you're going to want to do is get your M203 and remove the front barrel mount. To remove the front barrel mount of the M203 is really simple. You just remove the Allen keys here and on the other side, and that whole piece will just pop right off. It should look something like this when you're done. As you can see, we've now removed the front barrel mount of the M203. Now we're going to get into the actual modding of the 203 to make it fit on the Mark 18 like we want it to. Now you're going to want to take your M203 and slide it up inside your rail along the barrel until it's all the way seated back against the receiver of your rifle. What you're going to do now is you see the holes that you took the bolts out of on the rail to begin with right here. You're going to take a Sharpie and you're going to mark where those holes line up on your M203. Once you've made your marks on both sides of the rail, you're going to remove the 203 and check your marks. As you can see here, I've already have my holes drilled. What you're going to want to do is take a drill bit slightly smaller than the bolts you're going to use and drill a hole directly on that mark. Now, when it gets to this point, there's a couple different ways you could do it. What I actually did is I took this hole and I tapped it so that it's threaded, and I can just thread a bolt in from either side directly into the 203. Another way you could do it is if you don't have access to a tap and die set, is just drill your holes and then take a longer bolt and put it all the way through the rail. So what you're doing is you're taking the existing holes in the rail, putting a new bolt in, and either threading it in or putting it all the way through to hold your 203 securely in the rear. This works great. It holds the rear very secure. The main thing is you're going to want to make sure you have that 203 seated all the way against the receiver before you mark and drill your holes, so you have it exactly where you want. As you can see, I now have the back of the 203 securely mounted onto the rifle, and it's sitting nicely where it should. Obviously though, we're going to want some kind of support holding the front of the 203 as well. So let's move up to the front, and I'll show you how I strapped that. Now this is where you're going to have to do things a little bit differently than I did. When I purchased this 203 used on the Hop Up app, the latch that stops the tube from coming all the way off when you open it was already broken. So I ended up fabricating my own. But as you can see here in the rear, that's the holes that latch originally went into, which is what I ended up using with my strap. But no worries, you don't have to use those holes. I'll show you how to do it without it. If you move slightly forward from those holes right here, you can once again mark with a Sharpie directly in the center of that and carefully drill a hole through on both sides. As you can see here, I now have the front strap mounted. Once again, this is going to be slightly farther back than where your strap will be, but the effect will be the same. I chose to thread my holes and put a short bolt in from each side, but if you don't have access to a tap and die set, you can do the same as you did in the rear and just put a longer bolt all the way through and put a nut on the far side. I also lined the inside of the pipe strap with a little bit of rubber just to protect my barrel and to take up any slop that could be in that arch. So there you have it, guys. You've got a M203 mounted on your Mark 18. I've been really happy with this so far. It's very secure. There's minimal modding to the 203, so you can still remove it from your Mark 18 and use it with any other mounts or any other rifle, just like you normally would. So I've been really pleased with it so far. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll do my best to help you out. If there's anything I didn't cover or skipped, let me know. Again, I'm happy to answer any questions. So if you guys could drop me a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Till next time, guys.